the same Brooklyn you knew.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Dinorex Gaming. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and put on those notifications so you don't miss out on daily videos. And today, we're going to be going full on spoiler for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. And it's going to be a bigger one than the non-spoiler review. And, yeah. Let's get on to the full-on spoiler, shall we? From the very beginning of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2, it immediately picked up from Season 1, which I find was a pretty good starting story for it. The plot was amazing, but then the ending. The ending is something I want to talk about in like a few minutes here. There were some dinosaurs that I was not expecting, but it was in the trailer though. And let's talk about it, shall we? I want to say that I think that Brooklyn and Darius are going to be a couple in Season 3 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. I don't care what anyone says, saying that Kenji should go back to Brooklyn. Which, honestly, I was kind of a big fan, but when I saw the betrayal in like Brooklyn's eyes, I was upset at Kenji. But when I started watching more into Season 1 and why, I was like, this relationship isn't working out, basically. But when Darius accidentally said he loves Brooklyn, my jaw dropped, cause that is not it, but the most beautiful way to do it. Because in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous and now Chaos Theory, it's not so rushed. It feels more naturalized. Because during Camp Cretaceous, you start to see more of Brooklyn and Darius' relationship as a friend. But when you start seeing it more in Chaos Theory, it starts to make more sense of who's meant to be with who. I find that Darius and Brooklyn relationship is going to be amazing. I really hope that we get a trilogy for the campers. I want it to be like a Logan-style trilogy, where it can end off with the best trilogy ever. And so there's new characters, Zaina and her mother, and her dad. I find those characters pretty amazing. They're like the goofy nerds that love dinosaurs, and they love them. And when you see like the Zaina family, they start to develop more. You get to see that Zaina is more like Darius in Camp Cretaceous, which I love that little nod. Because I was like, why is she not acting so surprised? She's like, and then suddenly I'm realizing they go to school. Like, why am I not thinking of this? They learn this in school. And And you just see that Darius is trying to give information to Zayna. And Zayna is like, I already know, Darius. It was pretty funny, but it was pretty amazing. Because I was like, yeah, I know, he would always say that as a person, because he's a big dino nerd. And the character. Let's talk about the broker, shall we? The broker is officially known as Sayone Santos. And the voice actor is back from Jurassic World Dominion. So that means not only the character is from Jurassic World Dominion, but also the actor from Jurassic World Dominion has officially returned to Jurassic World Chaos Theory. And when I immediately heard her voice, I was like, oh my god, that's not it, but the best way to bring back a character. When they introduced Sayone Santos, I immediately recognized who that was. And I immediately knew who she is, because I saw Dominion, and it was not it but the best film. And I don't care what anyone says about Jurassic World Dominion. I still give it a 10 out of 10, because you gotta understand, COVID was happening during the time, and they were struggling to make a good film. And I don't care what anyone says that Jurassic World Dominion is the worst movie, when in fact it's not. I find that Jurassic World Dominion is amazing. We got the return of the old cast, but I don't want to talk about Jurassic World Dominion because it's not a Jurassic World Dominion video. It's a Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. But when we see Red the Atrociraptor, I was like, okay, they're going to go full on deep. And when they introduce who actually killed Brooklyn, so-called killed Brooklyn, it wasn't actually the Allosaurus. It was officially the Atrociraptor ghost. And the way they portrayed that night scene when Brooklyn so-called died blended perfectly. It was like amazing and beautiful at the exact same time. And I want to talk about Dr. Star, that character. He was pretty interesting. He was like this Doctor Wu kind of vibe I got from him. But the way they introduced the baryonyx, the eyeless baryonyx I call, that thing is a menace. Like, I was getting vibes of A Quiet Place films. I was getting vibes from that. And I was like, oh my god, that's brutal, but awesome. And the way it used echolocation is pretty awesome. It uses like noise, because it has no eyes, so it can't see anything. But it used noise to help it go around, which is awesome. But, okay. Episode 10, or episode 9 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory, Season 2, and episode 8, those three episodes were pretty dark. And I enjoyed it. Okay. I want to talk about this, okay? I think that we got a good prologue for the Atrociraptors in Jurassic World Chaos Theory. And it leads up to Jurassic World Dominion, which I gotta say, that is awesome. And the one thing I do want to say is, when Red did something so surprising, I was so shocked, I couldn't even believe my eyes. So I had to replay the footage for myself, and I'm like, what are they doing? But then I realized something. It mimicking the clicking noise of Dr. Star to the baryonyx. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh my god, that is dark, but awesome. So, Red the Atrociraptor is not in the group of the other three Atrociraptors. It's on its own. But when they do that scene with Red the Atrociraptor, my mind was blown. I was in shock. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, what in the world? Fiona Santos, amazing character. Absolute perfection. And I find that Darius and Brooklyn have a better relationship than Kenji and Brooklyn. And I want to explain that in details. I was a little bit skeptical. Like, I was really okay when Kenji and Brooklyn were dating. But when I saw Chaos Theory, I was a little bit skeptical because, like, why would you do this, you know? Because Kenji broke up with her because of her being on the Dark Jurassic app, which, honestly, I understand where Kenji's coming from, but he should not be going back to Brooklyn. I think Darius and Brooklyn should be together. When it revealed when Ronnie was there to save her, I was happy. I was happy that that Brooklyn didn't get killed. But the way they showed the bandage on Brooklyn's arm, that was just sad. I was just so disappointed because I'm like, she's gonna have that stump for the longest time. And it's so sad. But I like that she's not letting that affecting her. She's just doing it on its own. But Gappa the Gallimimus was pretty. It was adorable. It was basically like Bumpy. It was very adorable. And it was actually kind of like a house pet, basically. And when Brooklyn said Biosyn, my jaw dropped because we not only get the fact of, like, clues or, like, references or Easter eggs of Biosyn in Camp Cretaceous, but also in Chaos Theory. And that was pretty shocking. I think there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. The Majunga story. So episode 1 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. It was pretty amazing. It was meant to be a dark Jurassic universe where dinosaurs are with humans. It was pretty good. The other episodes where we started to begin knowing what happened to Brooklyn was pretty good. The DLN, that I really just don't care about. That was like, that just died thing. I didn't really care about it. But it was pretty cool to see that Brooklyn joined the team. And remember when I did that video of Jurassic World Chaos Theory itself, and I said the character Sydney? That, I think the person that was meant to be playing as Sydney was meant to be for Brooklyn, or like the new character. I love that they referenced it in Chaos Theory Season 2. It was pretty good. But something tells me that it was Sydney, aka Brooklyn, is the character. And I think I might have actually spoiled it without even noticing. But also Darius, the return of the character. His character was pretty good. So the Nublar 5 their characters are pretty good. But I was kind of a little bit upset at Kenji for a few times in the show, because I was just like, dude, why are you running yourself into danger? I find that he's like trying to do his best, trying to protect everyone, but the way they showed his broken limbs and the way that when Kenji popped back his limb back in place, I was so grossed out. I was like, ugh, why do I need to hear that? It was pretty grossed out, but it was pretty awesome. But I gotta say that the continuity errors, I just don't care about, honestly. If it's there, it's there. You can't change it. So then if you put like, I don't know, like, there were different characters that were pretty interesting. So the DPW is gone now. They're fully gone. It was a secret organization that was evil. And it's completely gone, nothing else. But I did like that we get to see more of Yasmina and Sammy's relationship, because it was beautiful. I understand the perspective of Sammy and Yaz, because it's like, you gotta understand what the relationship is. So, if you care about someone, you gotta go save them. It's like, you know, I just really don't mind. But the Majungasaurus, I find it got a pretty good kind of little bit conclusion. But also the Suchomimus, that was pretty awesome, honestly. Like, the Suchomimus was like pretty awesome. And let's talk about the ending, shall we? So, at the ending of Chaos Theory Season 2, Sayona Santos and Brooklyn are going to the airport to go to, I think now the location is to Malta, when that is dropped where Dominion is happening. That ending was very, very sad, and I was deeply, deeply sorry. That was like, when Kenji, Ben, Darius, Sammy, and Yaz were all smiling at Brooklyn kind of turned away and just left them. And I was just very deeply upsetting. And when, I don't know how to say this, I think the ending was pretty good. I know that Swerve said it was very underwhelming, which in reality, if you replay it, you'll start to understand more what's going on. I replayed it to make sure what was going on, and I fully understand. The reason why Brooklyn left the campers is because she wanted to keep them safe. Put it at that. But I was happy that we were able to get Bumpy's egg back to Kenji. Because now I wonder how they're going to do Season 3, because you have Jurassic World Dominion now coming. Right now going to be happening in Season 3. So, are we going to see the Malta chase scene from Jurassic World Dominion? Like, where we will see Owen Grady, Kayla Watt, and Claire Deering in the film from Jurassic World Dominion, basically. Jurassic World Dominion. And I find that it was, I don't know, like, pretty interesting. The ending was absolutely amazing. It broke my heart. I was so upset, but I understand why Brooklyn is doing it. And Diana Santos, that actor, mwah, chef kiss. That was awesome. And when she said Brooklyn, my jaw dropped. And I was like, oh my gosh, she knows. She knows. And I think that for most of all, season 2 of Chaos Theory was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was dark for the most time. It was very dark. And there were some things that were references to Jurassic World Dominion and to the earlier movies. And yeah. That's basically my full-on spoiler review for Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and put on those notifications so you don't miss out on daily videos. And I am going to be doing a video with the Terry Gaming Corner on Deadpool and Wolverine. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.